The title of this video already tells you that yes, we're going to be doing some maths today. The first thing we're going to do is head in straight to the 4 basic arithmetic operators that you will have seen in day-to-day mathematics. So I'm going to initialize an integer called a, and a is going to be equal to whatever the value of 5 plus 3 is. So a should be equal to 8, and I can just simply throw in that plus sign as I would in normal maths, and we're good to go. However, I'm going to define a second variable, b, and b is going to be equal to 5 asterisk 8 / 10. Now I've done a few things here, and you might not be familiar with all of it. First thing here is the asterisk. The asterisk in programming signifies multiply, so 5 multiplied by 8 would make 40. And the / signifies division, so that would be 40 divided by 10. And the reason that's 40 divided by 10 is because I have these brackets here which signify that this happens first, and then whatever that total is, then that can be applied to this operation. And finally we have the familiar subtraction, and I can actually subtract two variables, a minus b. So c is going to be equal to whatever the value of a was minus whatever the value of b was. So that's 8 minus 4. And so c should be equal to 4. Let's test that out. If I just print out the value of c and run this, we do in fact have 4. Now the fifth most common mathematical operator in programming is the modulus operator. Now in mathematics, modulus is something that's known as getting the absolute value of something. So if something is minus 4 and you apply modulus to it, then it would be 4. However, that's not the case in programming. If I have an integer I is going to be equal to c modulus 2. What this does is it gets the remainder of c divided by 2. C divided by 2 is going to be straight up 2. There's no remainder there. So this should equal 0. So let's test that out now. If I run this, we get our 4, and then modulus 2, we get 0. We can also change our variable values using these arithmetic operators even after we've defined them. So I can make a set to whatever the value of a was before plus 2. So that should give me 10. A quicker way of doing this is a plus equals 2. Now the reason this isn't a equals plus 2 is because that simply says set a equal to the positive of 2. So this would just set a to 2. So instead we put the plus beforehand. And if I just simply want to increment a by 1, all I have to do is do a plus plus. And I can do that twice if I wanted to increment it by 2. And this little thing here works with multiplication and division as well. Now a has been incremented by 2 3 times here. A should be equal to 14. If we just try this out, then a is in fact equal to 14. Right before I leave you, I actually want to show you something that's quite interesting and leads into the second video, and that is something called integer division. If I printed out 60 divided by 75, you would expect the value of this to be 0.8. However, if I run this, I get 0. The reason for this is, if you divide two integers together, Java is going to give you an integer in return, and by default it rounds down. Even if it's 0.8, it will round down. So if I have 149 divided by 75, which would give me 1.99, it will still round down to give me 1. We'll investigate further into this in the next video.